It's been 3 months since my husband traveled and left us alone here in Nigeria. And I must say, it's been difficult navigating family life without the father figure present, without the husband of the house present. This is the first time since we got married for 5 years that we'll be staying apart for this long. And of course, there's always something to learn. There's always something, to pick out from every journey, from everything that life throws at you. Much like making lemonades from lemons that life throws at you. So this video is me coming out to share with you all that I have learned within these 3 months of being separated from my husband, within these 3 months of having to stay and cater for my 2 kids alone without him being physically present. Because believe you me, I have learned a lot and I have evolved a lot. Hello, you're welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm Diamond Mom. I film about relationship, motherhood, and lifestyle. If you are new here, you're very much welcome. Please subscribe to this channel, and to my returning subscribers, thank you guys for always coming back. So before my husband traveled, I made a promise to myself that I wanted to be a better person than he left. I wanted to be that when he comes back, I would be better in all aspects of my life. I don't just want to be like a stagnant person that he left, and when he comes back, he will meet the same person. So I wanted him to meet a more better version of myself. And to do that, I started to take some courses, in line with my career. I started to read more of books and, to just try to get better, and also to take my spiritual life better and pursue my purpose also better. Because I believe that these are the core things that matter in life, that make way for every other thing to follow suit. And in the course of my learning, in the course of my journey on becoming better, I learned some things. First of all, I learned to be more grateful. I learned to be more grateful for the gift of him in my life, in my children's life. Because now that he is not around, I started to see the space, the gap that he has been feeling. I started to see the things that normally, if he was around, I wouldn't even do them. I started to see so much value, like there's so much value he has been offering to us, which before I tend to take for granted. I tend to feel like that's his job. Of course, if he doesn't do it, who would do it? But I started to, to be more grateful. If I was grateful for him before, now I am more grateful for him in our lives. Because spending these 3 months as a father and mother of the home, oh my God, I must say, it's not easy. And my respect also has grown for single mothers. If I used to respect them by 50%, now my respect for them has grown to 100%. Because wow, it's not easy taking care of the home, being the father and the mother, being there. You have to take decisions, you have to make sure that the home is running, because you are the only person. No, single mothers, they are doing a whole lot of job and they deserve all the flowers they can get. It's not easy. You're a single mother by being a widow or by being separated from your husband due to work or schooling. I must say, it's not easy. You are really doing a great job, and you're strong, because for you to be able to navigate being alone, taking care of the house, taking care of your children without your husband, like, tell me of a much stronger experience that you can ever think of. I've learned to be more grateful and to appreciate things more, to appreciate the little things that my partner does for me, and to also appreciate people that are in this kind of situation, because it is very much easy to downplay everything that they are passing through. By after all, it's not your mates that are doing it. Another thing I learned to be more responsible. I learned to actually get up and get things done. I learned how to get the home running without falling back, to the presence of my husband. Because of course, if my husband was around, there are many things I would not even think of doing, like, because I know that he would fill in the gap, he would do it for me without even me asking. He would make sure that the home is running. But being that he's not around physically, even though he was present with us but not physically, there are decisions I had to take, there are things I had to take. In fact, I had to go house hunting. And if you live in Nigeria, you know how difficult house hunting is. Like, I watched a video of Maraji about different agents in Nigeria or in Lagos. And see, guys, I legit met every one of those kind of agents. I saw Shege when I was house hunting. And then when I finally found one, I had to move houses, because of course I can't wait for my husband to come. And then so I had to organize a truck and pack up things and leave. Like, these things are what I would never have done. In fact, my husband would never let me do these things if he was around. He would take up the responsibility, do everything. But I have to be more responsible. I have to take it up on myself and do it, because if I don't do it, who will do it for me? And I can't wait till he comes back, for him to come and do those things, because time actually matters. I also learned to be careful when it comes to communication. So being that my husband is not around, we only get to communicate using voice calls and video calls. there are things that I might say to him and he would misinterpret, like he would misunderstand. So I also learned to be careful when it comes to communication, of course, because you cannot compare physical communication to virtual communication. And also I learned to manage my emotion. There are times when I would be in a mess, and the first thing that will come to my mind is to pick up my phone and call my husband and start telling him, see, look at what I'm passing through, look at what I'm passing through. I actually do that. But then I realize that whenever I do this, whenever I tell him of any problem I am currently in, at that point in time, when I am not in control of my emotion, it tends to misinterpret and overreact. It tends to become restless, because he feels helpless since he's not present with me physically. So, but maybe the way he's interpreting it is not that bad, but because of the way I presented it to him. So I also learned to know how to present things better to him. There was a night I sent him a message, I'm in a very big problem, and he was frantic. What is it? But see, the problem was just small domestic problem, and that kind of thing. So I just learned actually to know how to communicate better, to know how to manage my emotions, to avoid miscommunications also, because of course we had arguments that would have not been there if we were present, but because of misinterpretation, miscommunication, maybe you didn't hear me well, or you misinterpreted me, or I miscommunicated, and stuff like that. So I also learned to be careful when it comes to presentation, managing of my emotions, and everything. Another thing I learned that really helped within this month of my husband being away is intentional communication. We made sure that every day, every single day, we must communicate for at least 2 hours. It's not just a communication of, okay, how are you, how are the kids? No, because it's very easy for couples to drift apart when they are separated, yes, coupled with the various forms of temptations that come on both sides. There are so many temptations that might easily, come and cause harm to the relationship, but intentional communication does it, because when you are in constant communication, we don't just communicate as if we are apart. I carry him along on everything that is going on in the home, and he also carries me along on everything that is going on with him. We care about each other, so we want to know what is going on, what are the challenges, what are you facing. Every day we would do video calls, and also related to this was involving my children in the video calls, in the audio calls, because children, they have little attention span. It's very much easy for children to easily forget their fathers, especially when they are still young, because my son is 3 years old and my daughter was 1 year and 3 months when my husband traveled. It will be very much easy for my daughter especially to even forget about her father, and when he comes back, she'll be looking at him like, but I did not let that happen. So I learned to also include my children. For every video calls we were making, my kids were always there, at least to an extent, to speak with their father before I would tell them to excuse me so I can have a private time with my husband. But I made sure, and also during our morning devotions, after praying, while anointing everybody's head, I would bring out my husband's picture on my phone and anoint him, such that my 1-year-old daughter now knows that anytime I bring out anointing oil to anoint our foreheads after praying, she will start telling me, Papa, Papa. She will start rushing to bring my phone, Papa, Papa, and I will open up his picture and also anoint him. So I learned to, include them, to involve them. Like, I know that they're actually missing, because there are times when my son will be asking me, where is father? Where did father go to? When will father come back? So I try to always assure him that father went to work and father loves us so much that father would get so many things for us. Father went there for our sake and all those things, just so that they don't get the wrong misconception, because children are strange humans. Like, you can't really tell what is going on in their head. So I always have to be ahead of them. I always have to make sure that their thinking is in check, that they know that, okay, their father is there for us. And also I had to ensure that they are always as enthusiastic to speak with their father, to always see him, to want to talk about their father, because I don't want them to lose interest with their father, such that when I call them to come and speak with their father, they'll be like, Mommy, I'm busy, I'm doing something. Children are strange humans. So I always want them to be enthusiastic about it, to be happy, to always look forward to our our next video calls. And it has really helped because my children are always happy to speak with their father. And I believe it's also making my husband happy, very much happy, because I remember there was a time I had to teach my 3-year-old son his father's phone number, and then I called his father on video call and told him to recite his father's phone number for him. And my husband was very happy that wow, that even though he's not around, his children are still much, are still much enthusiastic about him, are still much into him, as if he was still present, because I know the kind of relationship my husband has with his children. So I don't even want distance to take a toll on that relationship. I want it to be that when he comes back, everything will continue as if there was never any separation initially. So that is basically the lessons I've learned, which I know I have learned many other lessons, but these are the major lessons I know that I have learned from 3 months of being away from my husband. He will be coming back very soon, very, very soon, very, very soon, and we are very much excited. We are happy to receive him, to welcome him. I'm so much excited, and once again I'm very much grateful for the gift of him, and I will ensure that I don't ever take anything he does for me for granted. I thought to share this with you, my online family, because there might be some people watching this that are currently in long distance marriage or long distance relationship. I feel your pain, like I have felt your pain, and I cannot even take what you guys do for granted. I just want to encourage you to keep on pushing, to keep on putting in your best, and to make sure that distance does not destroy your marriage, because I know that it is very much easy for both partners to drift away because of distance. So I just want to encourage you to be intentional about your communication, about caring for each other, and be hopeful that one day you would get reunited with your partner and everything will be worth it. It would finally come to an end and you'll be happy, and you both will carry on as if nothing ever happened, as if you were never separated from each other. So I hope that this video encourages you, and blesses your day. If you found this video useful, please give this video a thumbs up, share this video out. Also subscribe to my YouTube channel. Please subscribe to this YouTube channel, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye for now.